So, welcome to my review for Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. And this is available for PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, Switch 2, Xbox Series S and X, and on Windows.
Farewell!
I let my guard down.
And before I get into it, I'll ask you guys, are you interested in this game? Did you play the original game all of those years ago? Did you play the PSP game? Are you looking forward to this brand new version of the game? Let me know down below.
Your life ends here.
Bloody hell!
My efforts are rewarded.
Now, I originally picked up my copy right here in 1998, 27 years ago. And it was a big deal because Final Fantasy was getting a strategy game, using a lot of job classes from the old Final Fantasy games. And at the end of the video, I will share my launch day story. It's just a stupid story I have from when I originally picked up the game with my friend Rob, and I'll share that at the end. So that game came out, we all enjoyed it, it was an intense experience, and then there was another way to play it, and that was the PSP version right here called Final Fantasy Tactics, The War of the Lion. And this version had like CG cinemas, brand new characters, new jobs and missions, and also multiplayer battles.
Very well. It's time.
And that brings us to 2025 for Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. And it's an enhanced version of the original game from 1997/1998 in North America. It has updated graphics, full voice dialogue. You can pick your text and voice language, which is Japanese or English.
You there, wench. It is useless to resist. You will surrender the princess. If not, well, I would hate to see anything happen to that pretty face of yours.
So then you begin, and you can pick from an enhanced mode or from the classic mode. So the enhanced version is based from the 1997 version, but it has full voice dialogue, which is really fascinating. And it also has adjustments to certain dialogue.
Careful, Ramza. Remember, the well-aimed thrust pierces the mail.
And also, the character profiles have animation in them.
Beowulfs know our way around the battlefield.
It also has higher res graphics and an updated user interface. And also improved control balance.
One step at a time.
There's 3 difficulty options. You can pick Squire, Knight, or Tactician. So it really works out if you're new to this series, new to this game, you've never played it before, and you casually want to go in. There's different difficulty settings to make it easier for you, or to make it harder for you.
Oh.
But yes, we have the classic mode there. And this is the 1997 version of the game, but it's using the translation from The War of the Lions. And it also adds an autosave feature. Now, the first thing that really hit me when I was playing the game is the brand new opening cinematic. Because I played the original game and I remember what that looked like. And I was like, at that time, when I played it in 98, I was like, oh my God, will graphics ever get any better than this? Where, yes, in 2025, it proves that graphics will get better than that. And they've done a great job holding the original, but enhancing it and making it look unbelievable now. It's like, it's really remarkable what they've done. I will do a side-by-side on this, the opening cinematic, so you can see some of the improvements that they've done. Now we get to the game itself, and the thing that shocked me was the voice acting. I want to say in the original Final Fantasy Tactics, there's a lot of reading, and it's very, very heavy. The story is very, very heavy, and it's very, very intense, where this was a really nice change of pace for me, hearing all of the dialogue.
Gafgarian, you forget yourself, sir. You are in the presence of the princess.
The voice acting is fantastic. It's unbelievable. It's really quality stuff.
Mayhap your ears fail you. I said that a squad is to be dispatched. You are not a man of Galleon.
And also, when the characters are talking, unlike the original game, their mouths move now. I know it's a little bit of animation thrown in, but I kind of appreciate that attention to detail where we're not changing the profile pictures, we're just adding a little bit more to it. And with the dialogue there as well, it really kind of blew me away.
Hurry up, and try making a little less noise.
I'll not take orders from you!
You've quite a mouth on you, Princess.
And one of the other things that's fascinating to the game is the combat timeline on the left-hand side of the screen to see who is in order to go next. And also, just in general, the user interfaces has been given a brand new facelift and looks really good and just feels more modern. Where they haven't changed it enough where it feels like really weird and unusual. It really fits the game for this enhanced mode.
I have you now! If only I was stronger!
Okay, getting into gameplay, and there's a lot to talk about in gameplay. Final Fantasy Tactics is a turn-based strategy role-playing game at heart. So battles take place on rotatable maps, and you can move your characters around on tiles. You can also rotate the map as well. And your characters can attack, they can defend, they can boost or heal other characters. And you can move your characters around, and that works into the strategy of the game that you can have advantage or disadvantage over your enemies. And you can gain experience points and level up, and that opens up a whole other realm of things that you can do in the game with different job classes. And let me say, there's a lot of different job classes in this game. There's tons of them. So you can be a black mage, you can be a dragoon, you can be a ninja. And you have a full map here with different cities, encampments, and battle areas. And you can go and buy better weapons for all of your characters.
May I help with aught else?
You can also go into taverns just to hear rumors about what's going on in the local area with the war.
Will that be all? Thank you and farewell.
And there's also the Warriors Guild, and this is where you can recruit new allies to add to your army.
Let's be on our way.
And you can also speed battles up, and there's also an auto battle feature. Now let's get into the story with no spoilers at all, because I gotta say, even 27 years ago, the story was heavy. And I remember many late nights like reading all of the lore of what was going on in this world with all of these different characters, and I was like, oh my god, this is a true epic story. So it takes place in the kingdom of Ivalice, and Ramza gets caught up in the War of the Lions as two different factions fight for control of the entire kingdom. There's a lot of double crosses in this game, there's a lot of intrigue, and there's a theme of the abuse of power throughout the game.
I'm a knight no longer. Just another sellsword.
Right then. To battle.
Deliver us, O Lord.
Now, as for the graphics, they've used a filter system on here, and it's a bit upscaled as well. I will talk about my opinions on that at the end. But one thing that I was very, very curious about the game was, what are they going to do with the music? What are they going to do with the music? Because I don't say this lightly as well. The music, and here is my box set that I bought all the way back then. My box set for Final Fantasy Tactics has got to be one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. I would even do something, you know how people say a top 10? I'd say top 5 soundtracks of all time. And I want to say that the soundtrack is fully there in this game. They haven't changed any of that. As soon as the game began and I heard the music, I'm like, I'm home again. And why fix what's, not broken? The soundtrack is so god tier that anybody who would try to do an arrangement of it or anything like that or up it would fail because it's top tier. It's almost like trying to redo the music for Star Wars. You just don't do that in the original Star Wars film. You just don't do that. John Williams' score is there and is perfect and it can never be outdone. The same for Final Fantasy Tactics, and I love how they've kept the original music there.
Oh! Is this the end?
I have an upcoming video coming out in the next month or so about, I know this is crazy, how the music of Final Fantasy Tactics changed my life. And it really changed my life one night in listening to one of the tracks. And I will talk about that very soon in the future. And that's how powerful the music is. So I'm going to get into my final thoughts and kind of sum up all of what I think about this game. The first thing that I think is very interesting is I was watching one of the interviews by one of the creators of the game, and he said that they had lost all of the original source code for the game. Obviously, 1997-98 was a very, very different time for Squaresoft, later to become Square Enix. So all of the source code was overwritten over and over and over again back then. So what they did was they went back to the original game. They went back to Final Fantasy Tactics, The War of the Lion on PSP, and they looked at the source code there. And they also went to fan websites to see what people had held up over the years. And so what they did was they created the best version of the game they could from all of those original sources and the best sources that they could get. Now, Final Fantasy Tactics was a big deal back in 1997-98 when it was brought out over here. It was a big deal in 2007 when it brought over the War of the Lion. And it's wonderful, and I'm going to say this, it's wonderful that they've gone back to all of those source codes and everything to try to do the best game they can do for the fans. And I think overall they've succeeded. I think there'll be a lot of people talking about different translation things and how they prefer this or that. These will be topics of conversation throughout the community for a long time, as is with any epic game of this caliber. And this game is almost like a religion into itself with its lore, and people really love it. That's what I gotta say. People really love Final Fantasy Tactics. They don't kind of like it. They're usually all in on the conversation.
I can get even stronger.
And I could do a 2-hour review on all of the different systems and all of the different ways to play this game. But that's for the game to teach you when you play it. Do I think the game holds up incredibly well? Yes, I do think it's still a game from the time period. And I gotta say, when I first saw those graphics back in 97, 98, I was like, I can't believe what they've done. Do they hold up to this day? Where I think they're a little bit dated, for sure, there is that, but it's classic for me. It's so nostalgic. I mean, sometimes when you're rotating the map around, you have some of the frustrations that we had back then going, hey, wait, I can't see that character. Where's my character? But that's also part of the experience. But the voice acting in this is what I didn't expect. The voice acting took it to another level. And I want to say, and I don't normally say this, I applaud everybody who did voices in this game. You've done an incredible job. There was no kind of like phoned in voice acting going on here. Every voice in this game, I was sitting there going, wow, they really nailed that. And it really adds to the experience. And I think it is the enhanced version because it does enhance the game and it makes it better.
This fleeting life, cling to it not. Embrace inevitable end. Judgment Blade! No mercy!
Now, the new graphical style may be a mixed bag for some. I was playing the original game, and sometimes it looks more anime and like kind of crispy looking, where the new version has this kind of like filter on it. And sometimes I didn't know really what to make of the filter, but I kind of went with it and I kind of accepted it. And after a while just playing the game, I just kind of went with the game.
I am glad.
And I was just kind of in combat, having fun there. And I think it'll be a bit of a topic of conversation for a lot of people. Some people may really like it. Some people may really dislike it. But one thing I hope we could all agree on is that this soundtrack is God tier. It is God tier. And it was one of those things that when I got the original Final Fantasy Tactics, I didn't expect a soundtrack that would be so phenomenal. That I'd be in combat and the soundtrack would be above the clouds and, you know, it was almost ethereal and beyond all of us. It's that epic of a soundtrack. And I'm glad they did not fix what was not broken.
I'm in trouble.
But the one thing that I am thankful for this game is for a lot of people who don't have these versions of the games right here, there's not been a really great way to play it. And this is a really great way to play it and experience it. You can go back and experience the old version, which I really appreciate, and the new enhanced version. And I'm glad that a whole brand new audience will get to experience Final Fantasy Tactics. Yes, it was amazing that Final Fantasy back then, the role-playing game, got a strategy game. And it really lived up to its name and became its own thing and kind of shocked everybody in how epic it really was. And I definitely want to thank Square Enix for the review code for the game. It's been a pleasure for me. I even brought out the standee. I bought this in Pasadena at a convention about 4 months ago. This is not an original, but some guy was making signs, and I saw this and I was like, I love this. I love this. I really do. I adore it. It's capturing that PS1 era so perfectly, and it just how it's all put together. It's beautiful. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and I just really appreciate the artwork on here and the look and giving it the old school design with the PS1 logo on there. I love this standee, I gotta say. And I've been waiting to do this review so I could bring it out because I bought it just because I loved the artwork on it. And let's go back now to a small story from 1998 when I got my copy of Final Fantasy Tactics. It was amazing because I couldn't get downtown. Rob had a job downtown and he was going to an EB Games there. And I gave him my money. I think it was like $100. And I said, here, just give me the change later type of thing. And I'll never forget, it's one of those weird memories like 27 years later where we met at a Burger King where we could both meet each other. And I sat down and I'm like, do you have it? Do you have it? And he had a paper bag. And he just slid the paper bag across the table to me. And I opened it up and I held it in my hands and I was so filled with emotion. I was just like, it's finally out. I remember saying that. I'm like, I finally have it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And it was always a funny story to me. It was like some drug deal, like two shady guys, one guy, collecting some money off somebody sliding a game across the table. And that's why when I saw that they were bringing this game back, I'll just show my reaction right here. I was just floored that they were bringing it back. I felt real emotion when they showed it, and I'm like, we're getting Final Fantasy Tactics back, and we all knew it was a rumor, and it was so great to get it back after all of these years, and I think overall it really lives up to it. I'll ask you guys, are you looking forward to Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles? Have you been waiting for this game for a while? Are you excited to get it? Are you apprehensive? Are you a purist of the originals? You're like, I don't know about this new one. Why don't you let me know down below? So anyways, guys, until next time.